The world changed a lot after World War II ended. Many countries declared independence, changed governments, or had civil wars. Two of these events started off with quite a few similarities, but ended with vastly different outcomes. I'm talking about the founding of Israel and the founding of Communist China. In 1949, after the wars to form Israel ended, Palestinians were mostly living in two areas, the West Bank and the Gaza Strip. At the same time in China, by the end of the same year, the Communist Party of China took control of mainland China and forced the KMT, the group fighting the Communist Party, to flee to the island of Taiwan. After the end of both wars, the Palestinians and the Taiwanese had a lot in common. Both wanted to retake land they had lost, both were displaced from their original geographic homes, and both were still in ongoing conflict with the winners of their respective wars. And these similarities stayed the same for about a decade. But things changed in the 1960s for Taiwan. Taiwan still wanted to retake China, and even planned a massive invasion of mainland China, called Project National Glory, but the plan was never carried out. Their focus shifted to economic development rather than armed conflict. Taiwanese leadership began to focus on changing laws and modernizing its economy, ideas that worked amazingly well. In what became known as the Taiwan economic miracle, Taiwan's economy grew from 45 billion in 1965 to 1.1 trillion in 2018. GDP per capita rose from 3,000 in 1965 to 45,000 in 2018. Taiwan is considered highly developed by the Human Development Index and, along with Hong Kong, Singapore, and South Korea, is known as one of the Asian tiger economies, one that underwent rapid industrialization and maintained incredibly high growth rates of more than 7% a year. Taiwan has specialized its economy and is responsible for creating a majority of semiconductor chips used in thousands of electronics worldwide. They are also responsible for creating 90% of the most advanced chips in the world, critical for AI computing and scientific research. Like I mentioned earlier, in the 1960s, the similarities between the Taiwanese and the Palestinians ended. Palestinians and their Arab allies have been in continuous military conflict with Israel since the founding of Israel. For 70 plus years, Palestinian leadership has been single-minded in their goal to defeat Israel and retake the land they lost. No other government priority even came close. This came at a massive economic cost. GDP and GDP per capita in Gaza and the West Bank has essentially been flat for 70 years. The majority of Palestinians live in poverty and have been for almost a century. Despite these numbers, there is still cause for optimism. The West Bank and the Gaza Strip have one of the youngest populations in the world, which could fuel a lot of economic growth with the right policies, just like they did in Taiwan. The few billion dollars the Palestinians are receiving in foreign aid will be replaced by tens of billions of dollars of foreign direct investment, because, realistically, people are much more likely to support their investments rather than support a moral cause. The point I am trying to make in this video has nothing to do with morality, politics, or ancestral claims. It's entirely economic. If Hamas or the Palestinian Authority shifted their focus away from military conflict with Israel and toward economic development, foreign direct investment would dramatically increase. And foreign direct investment is what propelled China's economy to its current status. If Hamas or the Palestinian Authority did change their priorities, one thing is certain: the lives of the everyday Palestinian would be undoubtedly better and more prosperous.